Welcome back to Navy Sports Magazine. We're presented by the Navy Federal Credit Union. Time to shine the light on Navy women's rowing with team captain Sofia Ferguson. Sofia, right off the bat, for you and the other four firsties on your team, you all have some interesting dynamics. You've got your group with obviously five total firsties in it, but you've also got a lot of young members of this squad right now. What was the challenge in bridging that gap from a leadership standpoint? Because you all have already lived this and trying to help some of those younger, players on your team adapt to obviously what your culture is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something unique just about crew in general is just especially here how it can be a walk-on sport just for anyone. Our team alone is 60% walk-ons. We only recruit about 8 girls a year. So I think that kind of starts our foundation of what we expect out of our freshmen coming in is that we know that they're going to be valuable assets for us in the spring. It's just going to take that little bit of time to get there. So I think immediately starting from the fall is that we have this slogan on our team. It's push from the bottom, pull from the top. So we know instilling speed and like our standards and what we expect out of our team into those plebes and those freshmen. We know that they're going to be huge proponents in the spring, just getting there. So we even have a plebe right now in our second varsity 8 and 2 in our varsity 4. So they're really important to us, and that's a really big part of just our team is making sure everyone feels involved in that team effort.
The fact that you get to be the captain, it's different than a lot of other institutions. Being a captain at the Naval Academy means something to you. What did it mean to be chosen to be in that spot? And what have maybe some leaders that have come before you meant to you along the way as you established your own leadership style?
Yeah. When I found out, it was an absolute honor. Like I never expected that, like in my 4 years here, and just to be among some of the women that mentored me and coached me throughout my time here, Emily Krulik, just her in particular. I always think back to her in my plebe year, just how present she was with us, how she would come in the mornings with us. As freshmen, we would try to go in the morning to get in those extra meters so we'd have a chance at racing in those spring boats. And I just remember that she was always there. And when I found out that I would be captain, that was my main goal, was trying to be that kind of personable leader that Emily was for us when we were plebes. So yeah, definitely that was one of my most cherished memories here, was finding out that day that I was going to be captain of this team. And that was a really big honor because even this team alone, like that's how I found out about the Naval Academy. So really, really cherish that. Yeah.
The fact that, what role do the other four firsties play along with you? Because obviously no leader can do this by themselves. How much do you lean on them as well?
Absolutely. And without them, I could have never done this. Nicole Dado, she's our senior coxswain. She has a really interesting career here because she rowed actually for 3 years and then picked up coxing this year. And she has done just an absolutely phenomenal job. And I think even her expertise, like coming from the rowing position and then moving into that seat, that gives her a lot more like an advantage of knowing what our perspective looks like, and that makes her an even better coxswain. And she's been huge for our freshmen. Phoebe, Katie, and Irene, just amazing workhorses. They just keep going, and we're all going to commission to the Marine Corps together, so that's going to continue on there. And just I think every single firstie on this team does a really good job of looking out for the underclassmen and mentoring them and picking them up and taking them under their wing. And they have just been huge for that. And it's kind of nice because we're all kind of in different boats too. So we have that outreach no matter where we go. So.
Why Marine Corps pilot for you?
I think it's kind of funny because when I came in here, didn't really know a whole lot about the military. I found out about the academy because of the crew team. What kind of spoke to me about the Marine Corps was just the culture of grit. That was the biggest thing. And I won't lie to you, it kind of reminded me of what I saw in crew in high school and kind of how those cultures kind of correlated, that type 2 fun where you get dirty and it's not very fun sometimes, but it is because you're suffering with everyone else around you. And that's crew to me. And I knew that chasing a career in the Marine Corps and just being able to be a leader in that environment out of here is something I would be really passionate about and really blessed to be a part of. So yeah, I love to fly. That's been a big goal of mine coming into here. So the fact that I could do both and I was blessed with the position to do both, I'm really, really excited.
I want to break this down as simple as possible for a lot of our Navy fans out there who may not necessarily be familiar with how you all execute this. Does anybody at any point ever, and is anybody responsible for, because I know so much about this sport is you all hitting your marks, making sure you all are in unison, doing what you're doing. But does anybody at any point ever look over and go, hey, the BU boat is over there and they're a little bit ahead of us. We got to pick things up. Do you all really pay much attention to the other boats that are out there as much as the effort you put into making sure you all do everything you need to make sure that your boat goes the fastest?
Absolutely. Whenever we're doing our pieces and stuff, no matter like whatever we're doing in practice, whether it's a race, there's definitely just this attitude of, again, like if we're in practice and we're on our own and we're racing our own boats and say we're in the 1V and we get out ahead, we're always saying that BU has one seat in front of us because we always want to be able to be chasing something no matter what. And it definitely does get this competitive environment where we're racing another team and we call them a Patriot League team name because we know like it doesn't matter if we're racing Tennessee or Wisconsin or anyone, like we want to be the champion of the Patriot League. So an example of that at our first race of the year, Cardinal Invite, it was us in Wisconsin going down the line together. They had about one seat on us, and I was sitting in the bow seat, and I saw our first Phoebe Howler pick it up. And I think the whole boat just knew in that moment, we were like, we are going to win this race because that team is BU right now. That team is Bucknell right now. That team is Georgetown right now. So I think it's this really unique feeling of recognizing the boat is reacting and that we're going to break through them. So.
You all have really challenged. You just mentioned some of the boats you've competed against, but you all really have challenged yourselves here in some very good places heading into this Patriot League Championship. Just how valuable is that type of competition in terms of challenging yourself here against some of the best boats in the country?
It's such an incredible honor just to be able to even participate at that level. I think, again, just something for all Navy sports in general is the fact that we get to perform at a high level and also get to do what we're doing on the yard. So yeah, that's definitely just been, we've had a countdown in our locker room since August. Like we know that the Patriot League is where it'll make or break us. And that's been our main goal. So at the back of our minds, no matter what we do, we're just thankful we get to participate in the Patriot League and we're excited to see what we do on Friday this year. So
for you all as athletes, strength, conditioning, certainly nutrition obviously has to be a huge factor. I mean, there's just such a physical grind and demand on your bodies in this sport. What's the key to maintaining your body during this competition? Because to me, I think it's one of the most physically demanding sports of the 37 that we offer at the United States Naval Academy. To be able to do it at this level, to me, is spectacular. What's the key to maintaining your body and getting the best out of yourself at all times?
Yeah, something that was kind of unique this year is that we got helped out a lot by the Navy nutrition team, and now we have a fueling station like in our boat bay, which has been really huge. And just in general, our coaches put a huge emphasis on recovery. That's just like an integral part of our training plan, like the way we warm up, the way we cool down, like everything is incorporated in the training plan that we can sustain another day. Even if that means having a 14K practice on a Thursday evening and then waking up at 4:45 to get to the boathouse to start at 5:15. That's what it looks like sometimes. But I think, yes, like that's built into the training plan to know that we can sustain that and even excel in that. And then we also have a lot of those tools along the way. Like we have a really good culture on our team of making sure we're eating and fueling, drinking a lot of water. All the girls in the team are always telling each other like, hey, you need a snack. Hey, you need to eat this. Are you drinking enough water? Here's some electrolytes. That's been a really huge part of this team. And I think too, just our coaches have been really awesome about that and making sure that we can sustain through the day. And honestly, the walk to the class is just extra steady state. So that helps us out too.
No doubt about that. Was there anything along the nutrition trail that they said, hey, drink this or eat this, and it tasted kind of like that? And you said, hey, y'all want us to drink this, but you did it anyway?
I think those honey stinger gels, they get mixed reviews on the team. I don't personally like them. I know some girls do. It's just quick carbs. I'll stick to the gummies, but yeah, I think that's one of those things.
I've had plenty of those inside the basketball locker room, so I know exactly what you're talking about there. Finally, you guys head up to Worcester now to compete for this championship. What would it mean, obviously, now on the way out with, graduation literally within your sights now, so much happening within this month for you. How do you balance it all, and what would it mean to obviously go out on such a high note?
Yeah, I think it's really just taking it one day at a time. Even this morning, I think something, especially for our first class, like what we have in the back of our minds is these past 2 mornings that we've had could be, if we don't end up on top, our last rose on the Severn. So I think it's just taking it one practice at a time and just putting everything we have into that moment, because we know that if we do that, then we're gonna have enough to get across that line first. But yeah, I think just being really intentional at practice every day, and just, we have a tradition when we walk into our locker room and we hit this N-star in our locker room, and just thinking about like how many times we have left to do that, whether we win or not, you know? So I think we've done a really good job of just taking the most out of the day. And again, I know we talked about this at the banquet, but our team word this year is earn it. And that we've really made that a big emphasis this year of just earning every day. So yeah, we're excited.
You've done an awesome job in the classroom. I know you're going to be an awesome Marine as well. Congratulations on what you've accomplished so far, and good luck in this one last competition coming up this weekend as you all try to get a Patriot League Championship. Appreciate the time today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir.